Hello there everybody and welcome back to episode 18 of my advanced tutorial series for Dwarf Fortress. Today's topic will be setting up a wonderful mist generator in this hallway here. And since this is a Let's Play tutorial series, this will be the main topic, and there will be lots of other things in between. Since we're playing that fortress, I'm going to explain all the shenanigans that the dwarves will do in between while we're working towards our goals. So, that being said, last episode I have set up a wonderful little water generator here. It's cranking out 200 power in total, and that's what we're going to need to set up the the mist generator. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to decide where that thing will live. So the basic design is quite simple. We're going to pump in a square space just water around. So we're going to look now. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Let's take that. So this is going to be where our first pump will be sitting. It's going to pump into this direction because we're going to take the water from there and then we're going to move it on over there. And also, if you think that my construction menu looks a little bit funky, that's because it does. We see a new iteration of DF Hack, that's the newest version, and in short, this is just a upgraded version of the construction menu. Don't be afraid about it. It's just working as intended, as usual. You just have more sophisticated ways and means to select stuff to work with. I'm going to work on a video on that, but the boys and girls on DF Hack are currently, well, there's constantly a development forward, so I'm going to wait until most of the things are implemented. Anyways, what we have here will work just like usual. Just wanted to lose a few words about that. So we're now going to go and set up the pumps in a way that they will work clockwise, you know? So we're now going to... You see, this is just a more sophisticated version of the old construction menu. So I'm going to let that select autonomously for me. And here we go. So this pump pumps from here to there. This pump pumps from there to there. This pump from here to there. And you see, it's a circling motion. So that's step one. Step two is going to be a gear assembly in between, because the thing is, these little thingies here, they need to get power from somewhere. And while power will be transported from this pole on over there, these, let's see, no. They need to be powered adjacently here, so that one. So that corner block will go and power this one. And we're now going to set up one axle that'll take the power there, and one axle that'll take the power there. So now we have power transmission onto each and every one of these. So let's get that started. So what we need downstairs here is going to be a water reservoir. Oh, that one is a little bit in the way. Well, okay, we're going to relocate it. So one of these areas will be the Kickstarter, and we're going to set this up like that. So we're walling this zone off here, so it can carry water for us. And here our dudes are already getting everything done just like I want them to. Wonderful. But I realized that the power transmission will be... yeah, okay. We have some aquiferous rock against us and again. So tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go and carry the power this direction. And we got a new artifact in the making. And here we have to bring up another gear assembly, of course, to get the power around the corner. So, a dwarven child has been possessed. That's a little bit sad, because possession does mean that there's no skill going to get learned, but it is as it is. So, a caravan has arrived. And, well, we ain't no barony yet, so where are we already? I think we're not yet. But we could get, we could become one very soon. So the kid has begun a mysterious construction. As soon as I see that, I am crossing this off because we got what we needed. Alright, so I'm going to skip over the trading part for today because we already know how trading works, and I want to get those, get the spotlight on other things here today. Okay, so we're almost done here, so one piece of wall is missing for now. At the end of the construction, we're going to get rid of that wall again. So next step, we need statues. Statues exactly below every one of these holes there. So here goes one. And I'm selecting here some of the more cheaper ones, so the bauxite ones and the shale ones, they are not the super costly thingies. And now one here. And one here. The statues will then carry the water for a moment. And let's just skip that for now. We have what we need. And yeah, well, I'm going to show it to you when once it's in motion. It's much harder to explain. And now we punch holes here. And as you see here, the whole thing is already in motion. We're using now 117 of the 200 power, so there's now holes everywhere. The only thing we're lacking now is water here, so we're going to set this up as a pond. There we go. Ooh, whoopsie, that's not what I wanted. So this is going to be a pond now. Just like we did it over at this place, somebody will now put water in there. And as soon as the first bucket of water is in there, the whole machine should be kickstarted. So what do we have here? A figurine of Mabzuth Plan Canyons. Alright. Who's Mabzuth Plan Canyons, I wonder? So, oh, it's a king of our people. Not bad, not bad. So, there we go. Now we got it in motion. As you see there, the moment we put the second bucket of water in there, the whole thing sprang to life. And now the stuff is being circled all around. Now we can delete that zone, and now we can also erase the walls around here and put up a fourth statue here. The thing is, those pumps, they transport the water instantaneously around, so it never truly touches the ground. The statues, well, I don't even know if the statues are necessary for the effect, or if you could just skip it. I personally like to have the statues for a, you know, for the looks. I like it how this looks. So, as you see there now, there's mist around there, and people are now getting happy because being around a waterfall. And technically, this thing here, you know, there is no real limit to how far you want to get it. You know, you could also make the whole thing wider than you would need to rack up the daisy chain of the screw pumps more than just 4 grids. This is basically a expandable system, you know. So that's one of the most easy and effective ways of spreading some happiness in your fortress. I kept the system here quite simple, and you know, just wanted to showcase here how easily you can set this up. And the most wonderful thing is you don't really need much water in your fortress. This has been all created with extracting water from some stagnant pools slash taking water from some aquifers. So all in all, we this is a dirty cheap way of making your dwarfs happy. And we will look at this by the end of today's episode, how things will have developed here. I can already foreshadow it's going to be quite amazing. I've also we're not quite there yet, but these guys here are filling up the Rangers Guild Hall, and we're done quite fast with that thing here. Oh, this one is really interesting to note. This is a notion that somebody in your fortress came to steal one of your items. As you see here, this guy is most likely going to be from some sort of civilization. Well, let's see, Cobalt Confederacy. Let's check it on the map. So it's quite interesting to note. So this guy is actually from a friendly civilization. This is a notion that he was trying to steal something from us. Sorry, I took a pretty long-winded explanation here. So yeah, that was a thief, and he got caught before he was able to pull off his thing. That is our luck here. So, since the mist generator thing has been finished quite quickly, I'm going to pack up one project that I meant to do in between the episodes quite so often, and that's a little bit more in the agricultural area. So first off, I totally forgot something that I meant to do whole time, and luckily somebody in the comment section brought me back to it. So, you know, first off, we're going to use the gather fruit zone for the first time, and you see there's peaches on the ground, pears, chestnuts, and all these things, they can be gathered for your fortress's delight. So we are going to go and create ourselves a little bit of a danger zone here by digging us upstairs. Let's see. I want to have the upstairs definitely behind, in front of the ceiling, the sealed off zone, I should rather call it. So we're going to dig ourselves in here. I like the idea of that. So you might ask yourself, why all that precaution here? The thing is, when you put up a gather fruit zone, your civilians will be skulking around there quite a lot. And I personally am a big fan of preparing these things before they become a problem. So when you've set this up, you can now select if they ought to gather fruit in the trees, or just stuff from the shrubs, or only stuff that's on the ground. So if you want to have stuff in the trees as well, you're going to need step ladders. The other options here don't need any gear. It's a quite useful and easy ways and means of acquiring resources in these areas, but that was definitely not all I meant to do here. So another thing that I really wanted to do here is to show you guys how easily you can create yourselves well, agricultural or farming plots that hold surface plants. Yeah, that's how I want to put it. So, yeah, he named his bronze shield. Good for you. So we're going to dig out a surface farm here now, my good friends. Okay, so first of all, we're going to dig us out this area here. Oh well, I think I'm going to smash some trees because I wanted to have a bit of a larger zone available. I don't like it if we have to go for only that here. Okay, so let's take a moment until these are gone. So meanwhile, I'm going to explain this to you. So as you see here, we have fire clay floor. So fire clay floor is fertile soil, which means we can't plant stuff in here. If we'd be building a farm plot now here, we'd be only getting did somebody die? No. We'd be only getting the ability to plant out any plants that can be farmed underground. So the trick to change that is as follows. Oh no, I shouldn't do that like this. You just dig out a certain area. Let's make it like that. Let's hope nobody will fall to his death. And once we have that all dug out, these tiles are considered to be surface tiles because, you know, they've seen the sunlight, basically. We're digging a big pit here. So the wonderful thing is, if we now put a bit of floor on top of that again, the game still thinks this is surface area. So we're going to utilize that. There we go. It takes a moment because your little guys are ought to dig this safely, therefore. And we're also going to remove the ramps afterwards because I don't want to have any leftover ramps in the room there. So there we go. So when you want to put a roof on that, you basically have two options how you can go for it. Option one is by just placing a ton of floor tiles on top of it. And, you know, when you put it like that, you see we would be needing 180 items, so that's quite a lot. And if we'd be going for building a bridge there, we go for it like that. So we'd be only needing, let's see. Don't tell me that we would be needing only one block. This can't be. Game, you're drunk. If so, the game is cheating. So whatever, we're going to try it like that. So this bridge here, I highly doubt that it's only going to be one block. Will be then our ceiling for that kind of thing, which is you know, a very, very cost-efficient ways and means to do this. I have a hard time believing that it's going to be that cost-efficient, though. As you see here, there's already first patches of grass growing here, and now we can set up the farming plots just like that. Let's see. Yeah, well, they are putting already some siltstone blocks in it. Alright. Most importantly, I want to show you the farm there. And now, even after this has been built, we will be still able to grow things here. And what I want to grow here specifically is hemp. Because hemp is an amazing plant that offers you the same stuff as pigtail does, namely plant fibers. And it's a dirty, cheap way of avoiding your dudes to consume away all the plant fiber, because you know pigtail can be made into paper and also into booze. So all in all, this is actually quite a pickle to get these things under control. So what you can do, and what makes things a lot easier, is to set up farms like these where you plant out hemp. Basically, every plant that I have ever gathered upstairs is now available for me. You see, a few of them we have no seeds, but basically everything the biome can hold can now be planted here. That's a pretty good thing, isn't it? So the only downside is that, yeah, as you see here, you really have to take care that you seal this off. I don't know if you saw the bird. I did, and I don't like birds here. Anyways, so all in all, we got there. Now, what we need for planting out surface plants. When you take this even further, and if you make the pit deep enough, let's say like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 height levels, and then put a roof on top of it again, you can't even grow trees with that. Because, you know, the game is not able to discern between a constructed roof and no roof at all. A constructed roof is in terms of letting light through and giving the ability to plant stuff and grow stuff. No wall. Either if it's a bridge or not. So here I'm using just the bridge because it's just so much cheaper, as you see there. It's just such way cheaper method of doing this. You can, of course, use flooring just as you want to. This is absolutely up to you. So the Communion of Earth wants a temple now, and just like in the last episode, when we had to open up the Crafts Dwarves Guild Hall and all these things, we had a new wave of migrations, of migrants, and therefore, of course, there are new people believing in some stuff, and therefore new temples have to be founded. It's pretty typical that when you have new migrants in your city, that new services get requested, especially when the fortress is already pretty huge. These things happen more and more often. All right, so let's give this a little bit of a needly look. And meanwhile, as you see here, everybody passing through is passing through Finest Mist. And everybody is here. They love the waterfall, you know? They love the waterfall. We still have a few of super grumpy fellas, but I've made the experience that practically every one of my fortresses has at these, you know? I literally can't remember when I haven't had a fortress with a couple of dwarves that were just constantly close to the edge. This is pretty normal because, you know, a couple of people, they always come with a very susceptible frame, you know. They can get easily hurt by these things. So we're going to do now one wonderful thing that you only can do with a new construction menu. Look at this. So we need 89 things, and we're going to select siltstone blocks. Do we want siltstone blocks? Actually, no. So what kind of blocks do I want to have? So let's see. We want any stone material. I'm not that familiar with it yet. You know, I'm still getting myself around there. So we can now select either rock salt or siltstone. We're going to select rock salt and confirm. And let's see. Here we go. Just like that. I haven't had to select those corners, and I'm quite happy with the newest version of DFHack. Especially a construction thing is magnificent. Still need a little bit to get used to it, in all honesty. Still feeling like I'm fumbling around a bit with it, but altogether it's a really big step forward compared to the OG construction menu. Alrighty. So our little happiness thing is working out wonderfully. And you can basically click on everybody that is passing by here. So, well, this guy maybe not. The thing is, being close to this is automatically triggering positive thoughts to basically everybody. You see, in varying strength. So I really like that. So I noticed that my bookkeeper is not really keeping her books well. So let's see. Stukos is actually a good record keeper. So we're going to make sure that she's going to have more time for her business. So let's disable. Oh, now I see the issue. She's a scholar. That's why. All right. I was all the time wondering how it came that one of my that my bookkeeper ain't bookkeeping. That's why. So, you know, being a scholar is a full-time job, and that's why nothing here worked. There's always a good explanation for things, and I love to find it. So we're going to go for Domas Oslantashem, and he's going to be the next person here. There we go, my good friend. Keep flicking that switch while the bookkeeper is now starting to finally keep the books. I was already wondering why the hell that wasn't working. So, to give the mist generator thing a bottom line and a verdict, and it is basically a thing that, well, if you want to have a happy fortress, I would even go as far to say you really actually need that. Oh, that was not as intended, friends. You didn't do as I wanted to. Alright. So, I want only rock salt blocks. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to check it out, how this works in detail. But the wonderful thing is, even replacing the stone blocks that are not fitting is now a lot more comfy than what we had before. So I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. Yeah, here they're somehow replacing now the stones with the same stones. Alright, so we have to bring up the communion of earth here. So, new temple. So, 10 people are worshipping this religion, so it is totally worth it to have it here. And now we do the usual jazz, you know, engraving the walls and seeing if we have to add anything of value into this thing. Alert. Well, we better check out the alert. Whenever the game's noting an alert, I highly suggest you to pause the game and check it out. So, cavern dwellers. Alrighty, so let's see. A fisher dwarf has been found dead. This is seriously bad news. So for whatever reason it might be, my military door has been taken by invaders. Interesting. For whatever reason it might be, my military is sitting on their hands. So we have to take care of that. Alright, let's start with taking down that guy and see where this will lead. We've lost our, let's see. Fisher dwarf has been found dead. That's bad. Well, we still have one left, but so let's see how the situation is looking like. Door has been taken by invaders. Yeah, alright. So we got to check out these guys. We got some caged prisoners. That's odd. These doors, they should be actually no longer be flagged like that. Confused with that. Because it's clear that the invaders are already gone. I have to check if this will stop after we've put the unfriendly guests here into their permanent housing situation. So let's do this while we're at it. And well, like I said, it is super important that when alert warnings come on in, especially when you're when you got open caverns, really take that seriously. It's that important. It's that important, you know. Okay, so except for a little bit of a shocker, I think nothing bad has happened. So we're sending them sizzling, and there we go. Wonderful. I love this. Just don't understand why this woodcutter looks like he's flinging himself into the pit there as well, but I don't ask any further questions here. Okay, so let's see. Door is still taken by the invaders. If that bug isn't succeeding, I highly recommend you to just remove the doors and replace them. This is typically a wonderful way to get rid of all kinds of different wackinesses that the game implores on you. It's just like sometimes these things. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why it's happening. It could be also that we're not seeing the remaining of the enemies, because they're stealthed. That's actually what I'm assuming. Anyways, my good friends, I thank you for watching. This has been a wonderful episode for me. we have brought it to a mist generator. We have made it to a mist generator, and check this out. Our first dude, who was formerly constantly unhappy, is not we have only 3 permanently unhappy. I bet it's the mist generators achievement. And yeah, so we're going to continue next episode with new shenanigans. I assume that we're well, I have in mind to breach even deeper, you know. For me, it's about time to finally get a look at what's deep down below. You know, we are currently we are at a good spot, so we could go forward. You know, energy wise, power generation wise, we have now seen power transmission. Well, let's see. I have various different plans, but I somehow haven't had the opportunity to make up my mind where to head next. So feel free to leave me a comment about where you want to see the next few videos to go. And of course, as usual, feel free to leave a thumbs up on that video. Your help goes a long way. And of course, consider subscribing. Subscriptions help this channel a ton, and they don't cost you anything except a mouse click. And if you want to push that bell button thing, you are going to be notified with all the new stuff that I did. Last but not least, check out the playlists. I got a lot of Dwarf Fortress playlists down there, and I'd be super happy if you'd give them a look. Have a good day, everybody, and see you next time.